Sometimes you'll hear me say that Team Rocket AZ started as a joke that got way out of hand. It really did start to snowball and become something that I could have never imagined and frankly wasn't prepared for.
I just remember when Patio first asked me to join. Because Patio and I, we grew up together, we were in the same karate classes, and what was a very pleasant surprise was just how very easily welcomed I was within the group and how many friends I have made.
I can't overstate how Team Rocket for several years in my life was like a family to me. Making all of those videos with everybody, I just felt so great knowing that I was contributing everything that I could to the team in like the way that I felt like I was meant to.
I've met so many wonderful people through this very specific circumstance, and I think a lot about how if Team Rocket AZ never took off like it did, I would have never met some of these people who to this day are very good friends of mine. If I could make a whole video for every member of the team to talk about, because everybody has a story in Team Rocket, I would.
Many other friendships who I've made in Team Rocket. I mean, I just want to shout out to, Agent Hack, Agent Hooligan, Agent Ding, Agent Space, and Agent Deck for helping me kind of, sort out the lyrics for Make Way for Giovanni. Quick shout out to Agent 2 for the rap bit in We're Team Rocket Grunts, we're undefeatable.
Yeah, I have a lot to thank Agent Snap for as well. He really helped inspire me to adhere to a brand standard with our video content, because before I really became active, Snap was the cameraman, and I wanted to impress him, I think, more than anyone when I started filming things. And Snap, thank you so much for hooking me up with so many convention passes that my poor college self could not afford.
And honestly, boss, thank you for being so cool and so open to all of our crazy ideas. Like, you being our Giovanni is what made the song so successful. Just running through the halls and just being at the front of it going, that's me. Like, boss, thank you so much for being a good team player and just being a great friend as well.
Assault, you're one of my favorite parts of the training camp panel. I love you making people like crawl around like a crabby and like pleading the fist all the time to get out of trouble.
I want to make sure I don't forget to give a big thank you to every Denny's employee, past, present, and future, who's had to deal with the sometimes 20 of us all descending on their restaurant late at night after a convention. Team Rocket are the villains, and the food service industry workers are the heroes.
I'm just ever so grateful of what Team Rocket AZ, despite the fact that I'm not exactly an active member anymore, how much it really does mean to me, how I was able to like be myself, act like a fool in front of like con security. It really was so many years of fun, and it's Team Rocket AZ is something that I'm never going to forget.
Yeah, there's so much to say. There's so many people have been in and out of the team. At one point, we've had, at a head count, somewhere around 80 members. So I just want to thank everybody for the time they put in. I want to hope that Team Rocket AZ, at least most of the time, was a good experience for everybody who's been a part of it.
I've been Jazz for a really long time, and walking away from being that guy and all these experiences with Team Rocket when I decided that I needed to leave was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And even now it's 10 years later since the beginning of Team Rocket and years since I stopped being an active member, I could not get rid of my uniform, and these are the goggles that I always have had when jazz. And even though I went through a lot of iterations of my mask and just whatever I put over my face, this is the first piece of smelly cloth that I ever put on when I decided to be jazz. And even though a lot of those great things that we just watched happened a long time ago, I am never ever going to forget everything that went into it. The late nights of brainstorming and coming up with ideas and dancing into the night at the anime raves, at conventions, and the long phone calls with all these people that many of which are now the closest friends that I've ever had in my life. Team Rocket AZ was and will always be a big part of who I am as Connor, whether I don the mask or not.